Hockey Canada with a gigantic failure at the World Junior Hockey Championships as the Canadians are ousted in the quarterfinals for the second year in a row. And so now major changes are needed at Hockey Canada. And this time, we're just talking about the on-ice product. This is, I think, just such a flaw in how this team was constructed. And like, you can put some of it on the players. Don't put any of it on the refereeing. That was such a frustrating narrative coming out of this, out of the game against Czechia. Like, what was the refereeing phenomenal? No, it was not. But was it the reason that they lost? Abso-freaking-lutely not. This was a horribly constructed hockey team, and it played out exactly how we said that it might. When they needed a goal late in the game against Czechia, and they do get it. Like, they do end up tying the game. Heartbreaking goal at the end. They do end up coming back and tying the game. But as it was going on, who did you feel confident about when it was, okay, at least these guys are out there, right? You know, I'm out here in Calgary. R.I.P. Johnny Gaudreau. When he was out there, it was like, okay, we got a chance to put something up. Walt Grizzly in the chat. The coach is an issue for Canada. That 100% as well. And I think it goes to the overall philosophy of how they built all of this with Hockey Canada. They have for so long had this arrogant approach to team building, whereas, you know what? All these other teams, they got like all this skill and all whatever. And we're Canada. We're Hockey Canada. We got so much skill, so much talent out there. We can just roll through these teams. We don't even need to bring the most talented guys. We can just bring a roster that fits the Canadian way of playing and a coach who knows what to do with that. And we can be successful. And you can't. You absolutely cannot. And it is how this team has failed a couple of years now. And it is honestly how I think they're going to fail at the Four Nations. Right now, I think Canada is going to, like, it is more likely to me that Canada finishes fourth at the Four Nations than finishes first. And it's like everyone else on the men's side has kind of advanced how to play, and Hockey Canada has just not changed their thinking in a really, 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 really long time. And it has just been stuck in this glorifying of when Brent Sutter was the coach, and it was these defensive, hard checking teams. And it's, yes, they were. They blocked a billion shots and they were able to grind their way through. But they also, instead of just trying to find players and shoehorn them into that, they found incredibly talented human beings to play the sport, and they bought in on that. And I think that is a very key difference. Instead of going out and finding guys for the system, find the best players and get them to buy into your system, or heaven for fucking bid, you build a system around them and try to maximize their capabilities. And that is where I think this thing really went off the rails, is that it was all just skewed, as Walt Grizzly in the chat said, all just skewed toward this coach who was an issue for this team. And then you look at how they tried to attack things. This was a really, really easy team to defend. And that became, I think, the real problem. And, oh, wow, all these teams are blocking all of these shots. It's incredible what they're doing. Okay, well, let's look at the montage of all the shot blocks, shall we? Shot from the outside, 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 outside shot. No shit, everyone's blocking these shots. You're shooting them from 100 feet away. They have a lot of time to get into the shooting lanes. And obviously, I'm being hyperbolic to make a point, but still. The entire offensive game plan was just work it around the outside and hope that you get a big shot. And if that was, flawed as it may be, your offensive game plan, then what the sweet Jeesley hell is Zane Parekh doing, still playing in the Ontario Hockey League, and Carter Yakimchuk still doing, playing on the Calgary Hitmen, when those are two guys who are tailor-made for that? You're telling me against Latvia that you feed one to Zane Parekh back at the point, he can't make one move to get into an advantageous shooting position, or that Carter Yakimchuk, who is a shot that could take down a building, isn't going to help out this team? Get all the way erect. It was so poorly constructed, so poorly designed, so poorly thought out, and it just once again shows the arrogance of Hockey Canada. And they are, I think, victims of their own success. And again, there is zero woe is Hockey Canada in anything ever again. But in terms of this, think about this. I put it out on X and other social media platforms when it was all going down 15 years ago. Canada losing in Canada in the quarterfinals for their second straight quarterfinal exit would have been a disaster. But now it's, well, they're back in Canada in a couple of years because they've worked out this thing with the IIHF because we're the only country that has fans that really come out for these things. Although that's being dismissive to the other ones. It's not entirely accurate. But it has the biggest platform out here. And so because of that, they just throw everything at, okay, well, Canada in this year, and then Canada in a couple of years, and then Canada a year after that, and then let's go to the States, but in a spot where Canadians can travel to and make it work for there. And so they've turned into, honestly, the Toronto Maple Leafs from a few years ago, where we sell out every game. Why do we, like, if I'm an owner, and I'm selling out every game, why do I need to spend a whole lot of money and try to make this team better when I can just spend what I am spending and do what I am doing? And if the team wins, they win. If they don't, they don't. But everyone's coming here. So where's the pressure? And for Hockey Canada, it's kind of become the same thing. It's, well, there's no real pressure to win on home soil because we're going to be back on home soil in a couple of years. And so the cycle continues and continues and continues. But it has been very apparent for a long time that big changes are needed at Hockey Canada. I just never thought it would be the on-ice product, but I think that is becoming very clear as well.